Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is James Taylor, and I'm an aspiring data analyst from Killeen, Texas. I attained my bachelor's degree in marketing from the University of Texas, and I also attained a master's degree in information systems from Texas A&M, where I learned about databases, data analysis, Excel, SQL, R, Python, Power BI, data cleaning, data modeling, and much more. My plan is to create videos. I want to do projects and write posts on YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. My goal is to spread my knowledge and grow my knowledge of data analytics and connect with people in the field. This is my first video that I will be doing, which I will be going over the phases of data analysis. But before I go over the phases, I want to talk about why is that data analytics important. When you're analyzing data, you're inspecting, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information to support decision making. Uh, if you do this correctly, you can help market your products more effectively, uncover business opportunities, help your company make better business decisions, find trends to follow, predict triggers or events that will affect the company. Data analytics is essential for every company to have access to these benefits. Uh, so let's talk about the phases, different phases of data analysis. So we got asking, making sure you're asking the right questions, making sure you and the stakeholders are on the same page, preparing the data, making sure you know where you're going to find your data, processing your data, uh, making sure your data is clean before you begin into the next step, which is the analyze phase, and then you'll want to share your findings with the stakeholders. Phase one, which is asking questions and defining the problem. Phase one is about asking the right questions. Asking effective questions is key to getting key insights. Asking the right questions is a huge part of the process because if you don't ask the right questions, your data isn't going to tell you much, and it doesn't matter how much data you have or how advanced your tools is. If you don't ask the right questions, your data is not going to tell you much. Uh, when you're working on a project, it's imperative to be on the same page with the stakeholders in terms of the goals and the plans. So you need to make sure that you're asking smart questions, which are specific, measurable, action oriented, relevant, and time bound. Then we go into phase two, which is preparing the data. Is your data is going to be first party data, which is data that you collected yourself, or is it going to be second party data, which is collected and directly sold by another group and then sold? So second party data is you collected, it's collected directly by another group and then sold, or or is your data going to be third party data, which is sold by a provider that didn't collect the data themselves, but they're selling it? You need to make sure that your data sets can show a lot of interesting information. You need to make sure that you're choosing a data set that can actually help solve the the problem that you're trying to find an answer to. For example, if you're analyzing trends over time, you need to make sure that you're using a time series data, time series data. And then you also need to make sure that if you are collecting your own data, you need to make sure you need to make reasonable decision about the sample size. A random sample size about uh, a random sample size from existing data might be fine for some projects, but other projects might need more strategic data collection to focus on certain criteria. Each project has its own need. And if you are collecting your own data, you need to decide how long it will take you to collect it, especially if you're tracking trends over a long periods of time. If you need an immediate answer, you might not have time to collect new data. In this case, you will need to use historical data that's already existed. Then we go into phase 3, which is processing the data. This phase is about making sure your data is clean. You would check your data for completeness and correctness. There are a variety of ways to clean data in spreadsheets and in databases. So I provided a data cleaning checklist to make sure you're getting everything, which is up-to-date data, checking for duplicates, check IDs, missing values, outliers, and you need to define valid outputs. Then we go into phase 4, which is analyzing the data. The goal of this phase is to identify trends, patterns, and relationship within your data. Transform data by observing relationships between data points and making calculations. There's 4 phases of analysis, which is organized, making sure your data is organized, knowing where you're going to find it, making sure the format and adjust the data. You need to get input from others. Transform data by observing relationship between data points and making calculations. And then we go into the 5th phase, which is sharing your findings with the stakeholders. In this phase, you will present your findings to the stakeholders using visualization tools such as Power BI or Tableau. You want to create a data-driven story that anybody can follow along. Make sure your stakeholders understand your findings and what you're trying to push. And that will be it for the video. Thank you for watching. I will be posting videos, projects, short videos on YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok every day. Please check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment and like if you enjoy.